Ryan, man, I'm glad you actually got on a call and you're in your workout gear.
I'm actually pumped. This is how I live, man.
I've never not seen you in a tie or jacket. So I'm always looking at the neuroscience, Ryan. This is cool. It'll be fun.
This is the real Ryan.
Workout Ryan. Well, perfect. So just real quick, at a macro level, what are you going to cover at the event?
I'm going to teach people how I'm currently generating 52,000 email subscribers every single day across 23 different markets using surveys and quizzes. Very,
very nice. Expand a little more about the process. You don't have to go into your whole best-selling book, pastor, but you don't have to go into all that. But just in general, what's the overall premise?
The overall premise is, rather than trying to jam a one-size-fits-all solution down someone's throat, when someone enters into your marketing funnel, if you ask them a series of thoughtful questions, you can use that information to identify what someone's biggest pain point is, their biggest challenge that they're struggling with, and then with that information, you can customize your marketing or customize the product that you want to sell that particular person. And when you layer on top of that a really compelling survey or quiz angle that inspires curiosity that people want to get the results for, it becomes this almost irresistible combination where people are compelled to take the quiz because they want to find out something about themselves, and at the same time you use that information to your persuasive advantage to customize the way you sell to that person.
It's beautiful. So the next question is usually, why you qualified. I'll kind of do a little bit of that for you. So full disclosure, my company, Real Dose Nutrition, is a client. I'm not allowed with my business partners to say how many leads we're acquiring day one at a profit, but it's in the four figures and it's healthy. And before we work with Ryan, in tandem, we got a call every Thursday, and we were doing no leads before that. We were straight to sales. So we were profitably nice high four figures a day leads coming in, which I think you guys can do the math how that might change a business.
Yeah.
And you could go on. Yeah, you have to, and also, your best-selling book. I was just recently at a mastermind with Ryan, and especially at his clients, and every one of his clients is very, very, very happy. So I did your why you qualified for you. Normally I make people do that.
That's the hardest thing to do.
No.
It's easy when someone else does the bragging for you.
I like to put people on the hook, but this time is just too easy since I'm a client. So you could just say, do a survey funnel, but let's just say, they don't have a survey funnel. Most of the people coming are 7 to 8 figure businesses already. Some aren't online at all. That's why they're coming. Some are doing pretty good, but more of a macro and principle. Like, what's one thing any business could go do today or this week and go take some action and actually improve their marketing?
Right. So I'll give you two things. So
awesome.
Super duper simple one. This is super tactical. It's one of my favorite, super easy things to do that can have a huge benefit. It's a ton of leverage to this. So when you think about your emails that you send out, when someone signs up to your list to get whatever it is that you promise them, you send it to them. You get the free report, the free video, whatever. Here's the tactical thing that you do. Send a second email that same day, about 2 hours after the first email goes out. Super duper short. And the email says something like, hey, it's Michael here, and a few hours ago I shot you the free report that I promised, and I wanted to make sure that I sent it to the right email address. Would you do me a favor and just hit reply to let me know that you got it? It would mean the absolute world to me. Okay, so you do that, first step. What does that do? It shows people that you're a real person. You will get people who actually reply to that and say, oh yeah, thanks Michael, thank you so much, I got it. You will actually get feedback from that. Now here's how you blow people's minds. You reply to that email.
Yes.
And you say, oh, awesome, so glad that you got it. Hey, by the way, what's the single biggest challenge that you're having related to XYZ problem? Mm-hmm. You invite this conversation. So when you invite this conversation, not only do you get great feedback, but it's also, in my opinion, the best under-the-radar way to get yourself whitelisted.
I was going to say, warm up an IP right there, baby.
You warm up an IP with this. Why? Because most people are fixated on how do you get your email to someone's email box? Do you get them to star it? Do you get them to create? No. Just create a back and forth conversation, because what happens is the Gmails, the Yahoo mails, the Hotmails of the world, they look at this and they say, oh, this must be this guy's friend, because they're writing back and forth to each other. We're going to make sure that this email gets delivered. So that's the super tactical one.
Nice.
Second thing is just really simple. You just send an email out to your list saying, hey, I'm thinking about covering this topic. I'm thinking about helping people solve this topic. Before I do, I want to make sure that I cover what your biggest problem is. Would you do me a favor? Click on this link and tell me what's the single biggest challenge you have about XYZ. So if you're in the retirement market, if you help people with their retirement, planning for your retirement, you do that, you're going to get solid gold feedback. It's just such an easy, no-brainer thing to do, and I've never done this approach and not discovered something that we didn't expect. There's always going to be some hidden surprise that you didn't expect to see.
That's beautiful. No, it's funny. Another guy who's speaking is Jeff Hayes, who I'm making an intro to, and he's probably the best crowdfunder out there, and he makes documentary films. And when I asked him to recommend a book on crowdfunding, he says, there's really not any good books, but he goes, the best book I would read on crowdfunding would be Ryan's book, Ask a Friend. And I said, why? He goes, I never create a product I want. That's the whole crowdfunding method he's going to teach. I create a product that people want. So he goes, Ryan's Ask is very similar to my process of crowdfunding. And that's why you guys are going to get together before the event and maybe do a special workshop on combining those, which you didn't know about.
I did not know about that, but I'm totally game, man. I love it.
That was hatched yesterday. That evil plan was hatched yesterday. So
love it.
You'll get an email tomorrow morning with an intro. I just want credit for it.
Awesome.
Very cool. So the kind of final question is, if there's one or two books kind of about the subject, aside from yours, and I'll post your book online, it's what books do you recommend people read? So if they're going to go to your workshop, and of course they want to read your book, they could read one other book so that they could hit the ground running and be intelligent, because you're not doing a lecture, you're doing a workshop. It's going to be
right.
So what would you have liked for them to have read so you'd have a much more productive workshop?
That is a great question. When you asked me the question initially, you had phrased it as a book or movie.
Yeah.
And I had a movie in my mind.
Do a movie. Movie's fine.
Okay. So the movie would be, and this is going to seem like it's going to come out of nowhere, but I think this is what makes it so great. So the movie is a documentary that you can find on Netflix, and it's called Yuri Dreams of Sushi. Have you seen it?
No.
It's the documentary of a 3-star Michelin restaurant and this Japanese man who founded it, and the restaurant is in the subway of the Tokyo subway system. So it's this 3-star Michelin restaurant, one of the finest restaurants in the world, in the subway, and it's the story of what makes this so special. And what makes this so special is this man who's now in his 70s, maybe even his 80s now, he treats the art of making sushi as the single most important thing. He is truly the number one master in the world at his one craft. And it's just a story about the power of mastery. And I think this is a great lesson that whenever you want to work with someone in a specific area, you want to find the person who is the best in the world at that infinitesimally small, narrow slice of what they do. The movie was tremendously impactful on me, and you know this. I have a background that involves a lot of different things, and I made a decision to just turn off everything else but become the best in the world at this one very narrowly focused thing. And for me, that's a great lesson, that it's not about necessarily someone's breadth of expertise, it's their depth of expertise in this one topic. And if you find 20 people who have a depth of expertise in an inch-wide, mile-deep topic, then you'll be in a great position working with those 20 people. So I think it's a great movie. I have everyone on my team watch the movie to remind them of the importance of this one thing. And it's actually a great, interesting film in and of itself. So on the plane ride to Powder, if you've got time to kill and you want to watch something on your iPad, this gets my recommendation.
Say the name one more time.
It's called Yuri, spelled Juri, Yuri Dreams of Sushi.
Got it. Awesome. So we have a surprise question I didn't put on. So no, this is good. We all need help. I need help, and you just talked about you have depth, but maybe not breadth.
Yep.
Not like, hey, I want, what can people do for you? Not like, oh, I want just people to say hi. And as it relates to your business, and we have some really interesting people coming to this. So somebody comes up to you, and everybody wants to give, and I think one of the things people have to learn how to do is to receive, especially people like you are so used to giving and being the teacher. So if there's one thing that you would like help with in your business, that we might have people in there who know it, what would it be?
It's a great question. And the thing that immediately comes to mind So our business has scaled very
Wow,
quickly.
I've watched. Yeah.
Also in terms of our team. And I think one thing that I'm not world class in yet is fully maximizing the team that we have.
Got it.
And there's a tendency that we want to constantly hire someone to do this, but I think we're kind of all operating at maybe 70% of our capacity or potential. And so someone that is really skilled at getting the most out of the team that you have and making sure people are doing, what's operating in their area of genius and all of that, that's something that I'm really trying to work on myself and I could really benefit from, because I think we've got the team in place to double our business.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of making the right decisions to make sure people are focusing on the right thing. So I could use help there.
Awesome. So you heard it here. So if you see Ryan, and you have kind of this expertise or know somebody, come up to him and share. And I actually can think of 2 people on the faculty who could help. One I just interviewed yesterday and surprised the hell out of me with kind of an answer to that question, which I had never thought of, which I was like, the kid's young, but a lot of high-end clients. So anyway, this is perfect. So I'm going to let you go now, stop the recording, and I'll see you there in Powder.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Bye-bye.